And this year we're especially proud to look back on 2013, which marked our 20th anniversary as a regional chamber. 20 years feels like a long time ago, and yet, as time goes, as quickly as it does, it really doesn't. So much has changed for our valley, all for the better. Progress and success are words that define us as never before. 20 years ago, we were still trying to pick up the pieces of what was left of the late 70s and the 80s. And while the Youngstown Warren and Niles Chamber came together to move the entire valley forward, undoubtedly there was uncertainty and fear in not knowing what the outcome would be. But what we are certain is that they had nothing to lose at that time. Change did not happen overnight, but the groundwork was laid from that day, and we look at what we've become today. As recently as 6 or 7 years ago, the Youngstown Warren region was still being named to every worst place list that there was. One editorial even called us a black hole. Well, it's always nice to take the high road and to have the last laugh, especially when we've been tracking between 600 and 700 positive stories about the valley every year for the past 5 years, from both the national and the international media. We've been recently referred to as the top 10 metro area, the 9th most affordable urban area, the 6th in economic growth potential, the 11th best incubator in the world, leading the nation in export growth, America's next gold rush, and America's next boomtown. Those are just a few of the phrases of the hundreds of great labels that we're now marked as a region. This isn't a passing trend for the Valley. It's really the new beginning. It's reality. In a short while, we'll find out why as we take a look back and forward with an individual who's been at the helm for our organization for nearly 17 years and was also part of the original merger. We're also honored 3 special individuals and 1 group for their efforts in growing our valley. Even though they worked in 4 very different industries, they've all been working towards the same goal of moving and making our community a better place to work and live. Not for those just that are here today, but for future generations as well. But to officially kick off our luncheon, I'd like to first introduce those sitting at our head table. From your left, they are Tom Humphreys, President and CEO of the Regional Chamber. Chris, absolutely. Chris Jaskowitz, Chief Operating Officer and President of VEC Incorporated and our 2014 Spirit of Excellence recipient. Trumbull County Commissioners, Frank Fuda, Paul Hetzel, and Dan Polivka, recipients of our Chairman's Political Achievement Award. Kevin Helmick, President and CEO of Farmers National Bank, our awards presentation sponsor. Sil Frazzini, Vice President and General Manager of American Business Center Incorporated and the 2014 Don Cahiga Spirit of the Chamber recipient. And Nancy Kazenko, Account Executive, Anthem, and our luncheon sponsor today. I cannot emphasize the importance of our partnerships with Anthem and Farmers National Bank as we host this event. We are fortunate to have these businesses continually support the Chamber and its initiatives, and we appreciate the generosity that allows us to bring you top-notch programs. We're glad to first welcome back Anthem to our meeting festivities, and I'd like to call on one of the Chamber's longtime friends, Nancy Kazenko, for her remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete, and welcome everybody to today's event. As Pete mentioned, Anthem has been a longtime sponsor of the Chamber's annual luncheon, and we're pleased to be able to continue to do that. I'm personally pleased to be here on behalf of Anthem's 40,000 associates across the country and want to extend a personal congratulations to all of our business and personal contributors that are getting awards today, to thank them not only for their personal contributions to the community, but also what they do for our business community in general. As technology continues to increase, we continue to add more and more applications and technology to what we launch to our business, broker, and employer enrolled members. We have some kiosks. It looks like they've kind of gone black at the moment, but on your way out, if you want to see some of the new apps that we have available, please stop and take advantage of that. And I would be remiss if I didn't make a very quick comment about healthcare reform. If you're not aware, individual open enrollment ends on March 31st, so people are unable to buy an individual policy outside of individual open enrollment. So if there is anybody that is in need of a guarantee issue policy, please reach out to Becky at the Chamber. You can feel free to contact me direct or get a hold of one of your local brokers to help you facilitate through the healthcare.gov experience. Thank you, Tom, again for the Chamber and making sure that these type of events are able to be offered to our community and business leaders. Thank you again, and I hope you enjoy the event.
Thank you, Nancy, and to Anthem for the constant support to the Regional Chamber. This marks Anthem's 11th year as sponsoring this particular event. We truly are grateful for you being part of it. Thank you. Before I call on farmers, I do want to recognize and welcome several additional sponsors and would like to thank them for their gracious support. Our partner sponsors include Akron Children's Hospital of Mahoning Valley, the Eastwood Mall Complex, Hillbarth and King, and Northeast Ohio Medical University. Can we please give them a round of applause for their commitment to the Chamber in this event? I'd also like to take a moment and recognize and thank for their service to our board of directors, two leaders whose terms ended on December 31st, 2013. And they are Anthony Cafaro Jr., co-president of the Cafaro Company, and David Paul, vice president of human resources with RTI in Niles. So please, a round of applause for them. Both of those individuals are very committed to the efforts of the chambers and were very instrumental in guiding us through some difficult times, so we appreciate them. I'd now like to call on Farmers National Bank to introduce our annual awards recipient. Farmers has been at the table for the past few years, and we're truly grateful for their ongoing participation and contribution to our success. Please welcome for remarks the presentation of awards, Mr. Kevin Helmlich, President and CEO, and a member of the Regional Chamber's Board of Directors.
Well, thank you, Pete. It is my pleasure to represent Farmers National Bank today as we once again present these awards to our deserving recipients. Farmers has been a member of the Chamber for 40 years and a sponsor of these awards for the last 3. I believe it's very important to take the time to recognize the special accomplishments and achievements of our business and community leaders. These individuals are being recognized for giving of their time and talents and achieving at high levels in our local businesses and communities. On behalf of Farmers National Bank, I congratulate all of you. Now let's begin the very special part of our program, the presentation of the William G. Leiden Jr. Spirit of the Valley Award, Donald Cahigas Spirit of the Chamber Award, and the Chamber's Political Achievement Award, and a new award, the Spirit of Excellence Award. The Spirit of the Valley Award is presented to an individual who has displayed exemplary leadership and commitment to the community, economic development, and the overall progress of the Valley. Our recipient arrived in the Valley 17 years ago and never looked back. In fact, he has built such a bond with the people in our community that he has worked tirelessly to ensure they have access to world-class health care right in their own backyards. Bob Schroeder came to the Valley to serve as COO at St. Joseph's Health Center in Warren before being promoted to Executive Vice President of Humility of Mary Health Partners and then President and CEO in 2002. Under his leadership, the HMHP system has grown exponentially, both in facilities and services. Recent years brought the addition of the $83 million St. Elizabeth Health Center Boardman campus in 2007, which included a pediatric unit in partnership with Akron Children's Hospital and the $8 million state-of-the-art Joni Abdu Breast Care Center in 2011. And in 2012, the organization announced an additional $103 million expansion and improvements for St. Elizabeth and Boardman, $88 million for the Youngstown campus, and $11 million for St. Joseph's. The exceptional quality of care has led to St. Elizabeth, Youngstown, and Boardman campuses being named Best Regional Hospitals by U.S. News and World Report several times, and all three facilities have been recognized with numerous accolades over the years. But even more importantly, this level of care means that residents of our community are all just mere minutes away from compassionate medical experts and staff, advanced technology and breakthroughs, and facilities that are warm and welcoming when they need comfort most. So how does the man who oversees more than 5,000 employees among all of HMHP's facilities do it? Undoubtedly with the help of his board and his team. But Bob's background in the healthcare field is also strong and spans many years. He was the assistant administrator of Harper Hospital in Detroit and executive vice president and COO of Barberton Citizens Hospital. Bob also served on the Ohio Hospital Association board and currently is the Ohio delegate to the American Hospital Association. He is the past president of the Kent State University Trumbull Campus Advisory Board, past chairman of Regional Chambers Board of Directors and the Mahoning Valley United Way campaign, a member of Miami University of Ohio Board of Trustees, and co-chair of the American Heart Association's Heart Walk. A fellow in the American College of Healthcare Executives, Bob earned his bachelor's degree in public administration from Miami University and a master's degree in hospital and health administration from Xavier University. Bob and his wife of more than 30 years, Katie, reside in Howland and are the proud parents of Brian, Laura, and Matthew. Bob knew he would not be able to attend today as he's out of town representing the Ohio Hospital Association at an American Hospital Association Regional Policy Board meeting, so he wanted to share a special video instead. It is truly a pleasure for the Regional Chamber to present the 2014 Spirit of the Valley Award to Mr. Robert Schroeder.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am truly sorry that I could not be there to receive this award in person. I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin today, representing the Ohio Hospital Association at an American Hospital Association Regional Policy Board meeting. This group only meets 3 times per year to deal with issues caused by changes in federal health care programs. With the continued implementation of the Affordable Care Act, there are a few thousand issues to discuss, so I did not want to shirk my state duties, which is why I cannot be with you today. However, I cannot tell you enough how honored I am to receive the Leiden Spirit of the Valley Award, to be put in the same category as Sam Cavelli, Dr. Abdu, Tony LaRuscia, Jim Trussell, Tom Humphreys, and several other famous Valley residents. It's just amazing to me. I'm not sure I deserve it, but I'm not giving it back either. When you receive a community award like this, you realize several things. First, you've been around a long time. I've been in the Mahoning Valley with Humility of Mary Health Partners for 17 years. I have lived here longer than any other place, so it's truly my home, and I'm proud of that fact. It seems no matter where you are in the country, and sometimes even out of the country, whoever you are talking with has some tie or friend or fond memory of the area. When I moved here, I heard a lot of jokes about the Youngstown area. Have you noticed those have stopped? You're now hearing people complimenting us on our progress. Youngstown pride is back. I'm proud of some of the accomplishments at Humility of Mary over the last decade, which I believe have positively affected the health of the community. Some of the big ones are the St. Joe's Cancer Center, Hospice House, the entire St. E's Boardman campus, the Joni Abdu Comprehensive Breast Care Center, the Akron Children's Affiliation, and achieving magnet status at all 3 hospitals. We have accomplished all these things while staying true to our mission of caring for the poor and underserved. As the Sisters of Humility and Mary have taught us, as long as you do that, you will remain successful even through challenging times like now. My second thought in receiving this award is that in almost every case, and definitely in this case, an individual award is not due to what a person has done, but what an entire team has accomplished. I have been blessed with a great and stable team, a fantastic and insightful board, an excellent medical staff. I would ask them, the administrative staff, current and past board members, and medical staff members to stand. Give them a round of applause for me. I will end by thanking my wife of over 35 years, Katie Schroeder. Any award I get, she deserves it too, because she has been my rock since the day I met her. Katie, I know you're in the room. 17 and a half years ago, I had 2 job offers, one in Warren, Ohio, and one in Boca Raton, Florida. I was leaning towards the Boca and the beach. She, with the aid of a ping pong table, convinced me to take the Warren job. I'll let you ask her why a ping pong table was convincing. But she was right. It was the best career decisions we ever made. Good thing I always listened to her. Well, usually listen to her. Thank you so much. I cannot adequately express my appreciation to Tom Humphreys and the entire regional chamber for this award and everything else they do for the Valley. Bye, everyone. And Kim, I hope I was close to the 3 to 4 minutes you gave me.
Well, once again, we'd like to thank Bob for his endless passion and dedication to our community and the well-being of its people. Great job, Bob. And I think Katie Schroeder is probably going to have a line out in the hall to find out about that ping pong table. So, our next award we call the Donald Cahigas Spirit of the Chamber Award. It is presented to an individual for exceptional dedication, commitment, and accomplishments on behalf of the regional chamber. I'm told, and I notice, that Mr. Cahigas is actually here with us today. He, of course, was a longtime businessman who led the Mahoning Valley region of Bank One for numerous years before becoming the president of the Youngstown-Mahoning United Way. Mr. Cahigas, would you please stand so that we may recognize you before we present the award that bears your name? Thank you so much. The Regional Chamber's Business Services team works to serve as an extension of chamber member staff, especially for small businesses that may not have the resources to accomplish certain tasks. Well, our Spirit of the Chamber Award recipient not only acts as an extension of the Chamber Award of the Chamber, but truly could be one of them himself. Sil Frazzini has been an active member of the Regional Chamber since 2004, attending a majority of the organization's events ever since and ensuring that his employer participated via sponsorship opportunities as well. In 2011, he joined American Business Center in Boardman, a leading office equipment provider in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia, as vice president and general manager, and would become part of the Regional Chamber's Ambassador Committee soon after. As an ambassador, Sil calls on new members, makes them feel welcome at our events, and is available as a resource if needed. In 2012, he also joined one of the Chamber's lead groups, which comprise members in varying industries who get together monthly, exchange leads, and help each other grow. In this capacity, and as one of the Chamber's loudest cheerleaders and advocates, he reinforces the value of the Chamber's services and mission to the group and shows them how to make the lead group really work to their advantage. The Chamber team has also heard Sil talking to members on many occasions, encouraging them not to only take advantage of the program benefits and services, but to contribute by spreading the word about what the Chamber offers to companies, both big and small. And with more than 90% of the Chamber's members being small businesses, Sil understands their needs and is always reinforcing how everyone benefits when the Chamber helps benefits of all sizes. Simply said, Sil has a natural ability to communicate with people and a passion for helping people be the best they can be. He challenges others to do more for themselves, their employer, and their community. He also challenges himself often as he wishes to lead by example, believes in the Valley and the value of working together, and isn't afraid to think outside of the box while still being a realist. The Hubbard resident was a 40 Under 40 award nominee in 2007, as well as a graduate of that year's Leadership Mahoning Valley class. He is a member of the Hubbard Rotary and a veteran of the U.S. Marines. He also attended Youngstown State and Kent State universities. Sil serves on his parish's finance council and plays guitar in the music ministry. He and his wife of 23 years, Colleen, have 2 daughters, Brittany and Emily. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate this year's Spirit of the Chamber Award recipient, Mr. Sil Frazzini.
Wow, I am, to say the least, very humbled and extremely honored to receive this award. Thank you all to the Chamber. Thank you for the legacy of the award and giving a strong leadership example in which to follow. When Kim Calvert called me originally and let me know about this award, I thought she was calling to ask me who I thought would be a great recipient. After a couple minutes of dialogue and getting through my thick head, I finally realized that she was speaking of me, and I went silent. Given what I do, that's something that is not normal, and I think I sat there for about a minute or so without anything to say. I would like to thank the Chamber for undoubtedly being one of the strongest in the country. Their advocacy for our regional business community through all the outreach programs to bring business to our valley is unmatched. Chance and hope are not strategies, and the Chamber makes sure through their actions that our region does not have to rely on either to attract new businesses and programs to our area. The Chamber has great programs and even greater people supporting these programs, and I am thrilled at the opportunity that I get to work with each of the Chamber employees. I am also very honored to work with the other ambassadors. It's great to be in an environment after hours outside your normal workday to work with a group of people that push you to be the very, very best version of yourself that you can be. Thank you, Chamber ambassadors. I also would like to thank Robert Wagner, founder and president and CEO of American Business Center, and all of the employees of American Business Center for their support in not just the day-to-day activities of our business, but also for the support with all the programs that we engage with in the Chamber. American Business Center will clearly go in the historical business archives as not only a Mahoning Valley success story, but also an American success story. It was started by one man, one copier, a dream, much hard work to form itself to the spectacular organization it is today. American Business Center started right here in our valley, and one of the first actions Bob did in starting up his business was to become a Chamber member. He knew the importance of it when he started. Part of our value proposition at American Business Center is to impact our customers and prospective customers far beyond which are our core competencies. Many of the programs we offer can help impact an organization's bottom line beyond what we do for them directly. It is with this same level of commitment to the business community that with our involvement in the Chamber allows someone like me to get this award. Thank you. I will close with a final challenge to all of you as members of the Chamber. Do one more event. Go to one more event. Talk with a business that is not a Chamber member. Reach out to this fantastic Chamber team to see what other programs they offer that you can use. Do one more. I cannot think of any one program or engagement that I have gone to where I did not walk out better than I walked in. Gained one more contact, learned more about the business climate in our area, or have had the opportunity to mentor others or be mentored myself. The Chamber is like anything else in life. You get back from it what you put into it. I would like to congratulate all the other recipients that are here today. Thank you, Chamber. Thank you, members of the Chamber, and thank you, American Business Center.
Well, as you can tell, Syl's passion just shows through there. So thank you again, Syl, for everything you do for the Chamber and the people of our valley. We're looking forward to many more years. So this year, the Chamber was pleased to have created a new award, the Spirit of Excellence Award, which we present to an individual who has gone above and beyond to support the Regional Chamber, our mission and initiatives. Our recipient has been a member of the Chamber for nearly 20 years. But it was only in recent years that we realized just how much we had in common when the Chamber was creating the Youngstown, Ohio, Utica, and Natural Gas series to educate the community about shale and its opportunities. Of course, VEC Incorporated had worked in just about every major shale play in the country, and we learned what a great resource the company could be. From that point on, we've shared an outstanding partnership with VEC, and we can attribute the strong support we've received from the company president, Chris Jaskowitz. During the past few years, Chris and the VEC family have been tremendous supporters of the Regional Chamber's economic development efforts, particularly in educating Chamber members, the public, and elected officials about the significant opportunities in shale development. Whether through sponsorship of the Young Conference and the jointly created Young Golf Outing, offering meaningful insight, or just asking what we need, Chris has always been at the ready for us. And VEC is an excellent example of a locally owned company with great leaders that is helping to spur job growth and investment in the Mahoning Valley. Chris, of course, is a wonderful example of someone who literally moved up through the ranks to become a company leader, and he constantly seeks opportunities to challenge himself and motivate others. He began work at VEC in 1995 as an AutoCAD draftsman and quickly advanced to estimator, project manager, division manager, and now Chief Operating Officer and President. His team-focused leadership style has enabled this corporation, which includes Valley Electrical, Systems Integrator, Evitz Oil and Gas, and J.L. Allen, to remain profitable and grow throughout the economic downturn. Now, VEC has become heavily involved in the Utica and Marcellus Shale project and continues to grow rapidly with a dedicated staff and increasing revenues. In fact, consider that in 2009, sales were $30 million. In 2013, they were $102 million. The company employed 80 full-time workers in 2009 and had 250 last year. And it's ranked 186th of 600 of the largest specialty contractors in the U.S., according to the Engineering News Review. When not in the office, Chris volunteers his time with numerous organizations, including the United Way, Junior Achievement, the Eastern Gateway Community College Board, NECA Future Leaders, the Chamber's Government Affairs Council, YSU STEM Advisory Council, and others. He is an avid trail runner, devout Christian, and a two-time Mahoning Valley 40 Under 40 award honoree, including an MVP Top 5 honor in 2010. Chris enjoys spending time with his wife, Kristen, and their two children, Hayden and Audrey, especially at their campsite in Cook Forest, PA. Please join me in congratulating our 2014 Spirit of Excellence Award recipient, Mr. Chris Jaskowitz.
Let's get a picture of this with you, gentlemen. We can't win.
Congratulations.
Well, it's truly an honor to receive this award, especially from a community that I hold with such high regard. Born and raised in this area, I've been here my whole life, and it's just amazing to see what's happened. And on behalf of my team from VEC and all my partners out there, our partners in the industry with HBK, Huntington, Gilbert's Risk Insurance, we appreciate all your support, and all the many other organizations and people that have come up and given me congratulations. I greatly appreciate that. In high school, I wrote my senior thesis claiming that we are a product of our environment. And I used that as an excuse I used it as an excuse for the way I was living my life at that time. I was a poor boy growing up on the west side of Warren. And I realize now that I was wrong. We're not a product of our environment. We create our environment by our thoughts and by our hearts. And we get the chance to choose whether every setback, challenge, or adversity strengthens us or weakens us. There's a story about two young men who were born and raised, of course, in the same household, and their father was a drunk and couldn't keep a job, very unsuccessful. And they followed these two young men through their lives, and the one young man became very successful, had a great job, great family, very active in the community. And the other young man became a drunk, quite like his father, very abusive, could not keep a job. And they asked him, they said, "What happened? How'd you end up this way?" And the young man who was having trouble with success said, "What'd you expect? My father was a drunk." And they asked the young man who was very successful, they said, "How did you end up this way? How did you become such a success?" And he said, "What'd you expect? My father was a drunk." You see, in both cases, they lived in the exact same environment, but one decided to use it as an opportunity to learn, and the other as an opportunity for an excuse. See, I believe we are the sum total of every interaction in our life. Everybody will come and go. Some will stay longer. Some will come as quick as a smile as you walk down the hall at the mall. But every one of them will have an impact on who you become. And I pray, as I was just telling Tom, I pray every day for an open heart and open mind to understand what God is telling me, to make sure that I'm doing the right things. And I've been blessed with so many wonderful people in my life. I couldn't even start to name them all, but there's so many that are actually in this room right now. But I'll just name off a couple. My parents, who really built me on a strong Christian foundation. I didn't know at the time how powerful that would be, but it means a lot, so much to me now. And without making eye contact, I will my boss and mentor, Rex Ferry. Okay, he gave me hope in a time when hope didn't exist. And my wife, Kristen, who taught me how to love, and then gave me 2 children to test that. But my situation is just one example of what this valley has done. I get a chance to travel the country, and I can tell you that every area has issues. We're not alone. Even when our darkest days, when we were called the black hole, we weren't alone in that. There's areas all over the country that are much more depressed than we are. And I feel, though, that our blessings have really outnumbered our challenges. And I think that if we really step back and look at them, you got to think we actually are big enough to have the President of the United States come to our city and have people like Elton John perform in Youngstown twice. But yet we're small enough where a poor boy from the west side of Warren can actually make a difference. So I think there's a lot of value in the Mahoning Valley and its size. And so often I hear people say, well, we can't keep the young people in the valley. And in the very next breath, we're criticizing something about the valley or someone in the valley. I don't understand why we do that. It's like inviting someone over to dinner that you want to become friends with and then telling them the food's going to be terrible and there won't be much of it. We got to understand that we have to speak praise and talk about the good things the Mahoning Valley has to offer. Earl Nightingale, very famous for The Strangest Secret, and there's been many before him and many after him. Jesus Christ, of course, started what I feel the most important understanding of this theory. But we become our thoughts. Whatever we think, we become. And that's so important to understand that. And I believe that a positive mental attitude in everything we do, using that experience, as I mentioned earlier, to gain from it and not use it as an excuse, is going to excel this entire valley. And we've had so many incredible blessings. The regional chamber, of course, is tremendous, and they've done such great things for us. But you think about the Covelli Center in Valorec, Extern, Eastern Gateway, the resurgence of the downtown, Turning Technologies, Deering Compressor, America Makes, even VEC, which has done a lot of growth because we believe in this valley. We've been here for a long time. We're going to be here for a long time. We just built a brand new facility because we believe in this valley. And the list goes on and on. Proverbs 11:11 states that the upright will exalt a city, but the wicked will tear it down. So you are the upright. You're the leaders in the valley. You have the opportunity to grow this city. You have an opportunity to take it to another level. I feel like we're in a renaissance. I wasn't here during I was here. I felt the depression at our house. But we have the chance to praise and give thanksgiving for everything every day to these young people. This is our chance. Gandhi said, we must be the change. You're the leaders. You have the chance to be the change. And I guarantee you, when you speak positive about the valley and about the people that live here and the opportunities that exist, we'll no longer have to worry about the young people staying in our valley. We'll have to worry about finding places to house them. So I want to thank you again. God bless all of you. Take care.
Well, thank you, Chris, for those thoughtful words and for your constant support of the Chamber and the community at large. Our final award is the Chairman's Award for Political Achievement. This award is designed to recognize a Mahoning Valley elected official for outstanding accomplishments that demonstrate his or her vision, innovation, and commitment to excellence. Today, we are honored to present this award collectively to a trio that has been working tirelessly over the years. 28 total years among them, in fact, to improve the economy in Trumbull County. County Commissioners Frank Fuda, Paul Heltzel, and Dan Polivka have partnered with the Regional Chamber and other elected officials and agencies to promote economic development. They have provided leadership by actively supporting oil and gas development in the county, assisting educating the public about the benefits of jobs and investment from shale development, and helping to promote conversion of vehicle fleets to compressed natural gas. Additionally, the team has actively pursued government efficiency initiatives, including consolidation of smaller 911 dispatching centers with the County 911 Center. The number of centers has been reduced from 8 to 4 in recent years at a considerable savings to taxpayers, with ongoing efforts to further consolidate. The commissioners have also supported the county engineers' efforts to share services and road materials with other local governments in Trumbull County, thus saving communities money. And they've promoted energy efficiency of county and local government buildings as well. As a result of their initiatives to streamline county government, Trumbull County is stable financially, and the commissioners continue to pledge not to raise taxes. We applaud the commissioners for recognizing the issues and stepping up to move the county forward. Change is never easy, and everyone wants to do their own thing. But in the recent economic climate, that just doesn't work anymore. As I mentioned, Frank, Paul, and Dan have 28 years among them as Trumbull County Commissioners. They all have impressive bios and accomplishments that would take more time than we have this afternoon to read. But Paul and Dan have been in office for 10 years each, and Frank is completing his 8th year. Frank and his wife Darlene are from Niles and have 3 children, Tanya, Tony, and Frank Jr. Paul, who grew up in Niles, and his wife Rosemary have 4 children, Ryan, Michael, Robert, and Paul. And Dan, who grew up in Howland and lives in Warren, has a son Jared and a daughter Danielle. It is my great honor to introduce the 2014 Chairman's Political Achievement Award recipients, Trumbull County Commissioners Frank Fuda, Paul Heltzel, and Dan Polivka.
I was almost beginning. We need to catch up. Yeah, Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. We short guys got to take this thing down. As president of the Trumbull County Board of Commissioners, I am proud to accept this award on behalf of Commissioners Paul Heltzel, Dan Polivka, and myself. We would like to thank the Youngstown-Warren Regional Chamber of Commerce and Tom Humphreys for this honor today. We would also like to give special thanks to Mr. William Kahn for attending our weekly meetings. and giving us updates on what's happening at the Chamber of Commerce. We especially want to thank Sarah Boyorka for keeping us informed of potential expansions of local businesses and letting us know when it's time for us to step up to the plate and do our part in helping local industries expand and businesses that want to locate in this area to get our support. We're going to move on. As commissioners, we do everything together. We're very fortunate to have 3 commissioners that don't make decisions unless all 3 of us take part in it. And today, they told me last time I had to speak, I took a 3-minute speech and made it an hour and a half. That was last week. So they told me I had to go into the middle reliever, which is Paul Heltzel, and Dan is going to be our closer. Thank you.
Good afternoon. The intro covered most of the items I have to talk about, so I'm just going to give you a few comments on them. Our 911 Center program took about 7 or 8 years to get everybody together, and the guy who was the spark plug behind that was Ernie Cook, who I don't know if he's here today or not. He's a sheriff's employee, and he spent a lot of time, a lot of sweat, a lot of talking. It's hard to get local police agencies to give up their dispatchers. They like to have their own dispatchers. But he's done that, and we have a more efficient system, and we have a better system. So if you need a 911 call to help you out, it's better today than it was 7 years ago. We also promote energy efficiency in our county. We have a $300,000 solar cell installation on top of our Job and Family Services building. Most people don't know about it because you can't see it unless you're in a helicopter. If you're in a helicopter, chances are you're going up to the clinic, so you wouldn't see it then either. I want to mention some political people because without them, we can't do our jobs, and we have a big team. They're in no particular order except for the prosecutor. You'd be nuts not to name the prosecutor first, Dennis Watkins. And the next one you got to name second because he signs our paychecks, Adrian Biviano, who's the auditor. Treasurer, Sam Lamancuso. Clerk of Courts, Karen Infant Allen. Recorder, Diana Marquez. Lately, she's been giving the cards out to veterans so they can get discounts. It's a service she thought of, and it's been, I think we've given over 1,000 so far? 1,400. Engineer Randy Smith, coroner Humphrey Germanic, judges Logan, McKay, Contos, Rice, Rentella, Harwood, Smith, Swift, got the M into a W. Then this last thing I'm going to try, and I usually have trouble with this. That's an unelected individual who I had a primary with 30 years ago, and she said, yes, my wife Rosemary. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's an honor for me to be here, and I'd just like to compliment my colleagues, Mr. Hetzel and Mr. Fuda. We have been working well together, and we try to do the best things for Trumbull County. To thank Mr. Humphreys and the Regional Chamber for this award, and it's an honor to be up here amongst so many fine recipients of these awards. And Chris, if I ever need a speechwriter, I'm going to be calling on you in the future. And coming from a poor boy from Southeast Warren, the west side of Warren. But it is an honor to be here, and really none of these accomplishments could have been possible without working together, the Chamber, the commissioners, other elected officials, labor, and other agencies. And we strive to be a more friendly county in Trumbull County. When we hired our building official, we want you to go within the law, but we want you to work with businesses to make things better for our businesses and to make it easier for our businesses. That's what government's about, to help you get through the red tape and not make hurdles for you. And I think we all have worked together to make sure that that happens. Commissioner Hetzel talked about the 911. I know the 1 year I was president, he had put a lot of time into that. We were working together on that. And I'd asked him if he wanted to continue that work because I acknowledged the work that you did on that 911, and we worked together on it, but he was very, very on top of it as well with our department heads and our legal counsel, the prosecutor's office. So it's just an honor to be up here and a part of this, and we're there to serve you and to make our county better, and thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Commissioners Fuda, Hetzel, and Polivka, again for your hard work, dedication. The region's moving forward, and not only today is Trumbull County benefiting from all that you've created, but the future generations as well. So congratulations to you. Can we give all of our recipients another round of applause this morning? Also, a thank you goes out to Ohio State Treasurer Josh Mandel and Senator Sherrod Brown, who have both provided proclamations for each of the recipients this afternoon. So that was very nice, and you'll be getting those. Finally, I'm proud to turn over the program to the Chairman's President and CEO, Mr. Tom Humphreys. Usually Tom's lucky to squeeze in a few minutes at the end of the event to give updates about what's going on in the organization. But since we've been celebrating our 20 years today and 2013, and Tom has not only been part of it since he's been president since 1997, but prior to that he was the chair of the board of the Warren Area Chamber of Commerce, and at the time of the merger he was the first chair of the board of the newly merged regional chamber. So he's one of the few people that can really take a look back and look forward and reflect on what changes have occurred over the last 20 years and really give us his perspective on what he sees that'll happen in the next 20 years. I've had the honor of being on this board for 10 years, and much of what you'll hear and see have been driven by Tom's tireless commitment and passion for our community. He's been a proponent of quality education. Our membership has grown substantially, and of course the Chamber has been instrumental in the area's growth and expansion of the region. Before Tom comes up, though, I'd like to have you note the annual report that you'll find on your seats today. You'll not only round up the 2013 results of each division of our Chamber, but also there's some significant highlights from the past years. But really, for an in-depth look at the past, please turn your attention to the screens for a short visual retrospect.
hope you enjoyed that. That's the first time I saw it as well. And a couple of things, the flashback. First was when Pete said, and Kim told me that 20th anniversary and that we should benchmark in 1993 and take it up to 2003. I thought of my friend Don Gahigas and his sense of humor. And to tell you the truth, Don, I was really going to come up here with a toupee on. Because in 1993, at least I had hair. I didn't do it, but I really was seriously thinking about doing it. And then when I was going to start to talk about 2003, I was going to take it off. I get about 13 minutes to talk about 20 years, which is pretty hard to do. But I just want to first thank all of the membership that's here. We have 475 plus people here today. And I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out. The second thing I'd like to do is often we overlook the fact that our board of directors are tireless people. Some of them I've seen 3 and 4 times this week already at various events. So if I could impose on you, not to call by name, but if I could ask you, not only current board members, but I know I went through the 475 people that were attending today. There's a lot of you that are past board members. Would you please stand for 1 second, please, so we can recognize you? Thank you. The second thing I'd like to do is, I generally don't do this, but I'm very pleased to have the 3 commissioners with us today and at the head table to be recognized. But also in the audience today is Senator Joe Schiavone, Mayor John McNally, Mayor Doug Franklin, and former Mayor, my good friend Mike O'Brien, are also in the audience, as well as Mayor Arno Hill from the Village of Lordstown. Thank all of you for coming today. And then before I get in to talk about 03, there's 2 special guests here today, Randy Seitz and Gary Dovey from Penn Nash Northwest, economic development organization that we work with over in Pennsylvania. We had a project, yeah, please give them a round of applause. We do work very well together, and we had a project recently where it wasn't fitting our portfolio and our community, so we had the opportunity to work with them on a company called Noise Solutions, which ended up being started at 30 jobs and potentially, hopefully, up to 125. And we like that because it's in our MSA area and a chance to see our community grow. 1993. Pete hit on some of it, but if we look back, our reputation was not so sterling. Our image, the pictures of our communities that were usually in publications were pictures of past and were not that complimentary. We were watching a significant decline in population. Few companies moved inside our market. There was no one out there trying to bring them in. No plans on how to retain the companies we had. Memberships of the chambers were shrinking. The number of programs and events for our memberships in all 3 of those chambers amounted to about 15 programs a year. Communities were not working together. Business, labor, political officials had no process to bring them together to work on common issues. Downtown Youngstown was being boarded up. We were struggling for a vision and a direction. Where are we now? In 1993, we had 1,364 members of the regional chamber. We finished the year at 2013 with 2,570 members. We look at the programs we offer. We talked about health care earlier, thanks to Nancy, with the discounts we bring through Anthem. The workers' comp programs, the business-to-business events that were 15 a year are well over 15 a month. In fact, we had 2 today. 3. We had a board meeting, we had this meeting, and we had Good Morning Canfield this morning. Business showcase to bring all the business community together. The Young Conference that we started about 3 years ago with the shale and gas opportunity was the first in Ohio, and frankly served as the poster child for a lot of folks on how to do a conference for the gas and oil industry. And we focused on the population so they can understand what's going on in the gas and oil industry, and then we started working on trying to get our businesses to connect with that opportunity. The Athena, you saw a number of pictures up there of Athena winners. If you look at the Athena program, we're ranked in the top 5 in the United States as far as programs with the Athena. We offer electric and natural gas discounts now, shipping discounts, office supplies, and we're constantly looking at other ways to improve the delivery of services to our members. We spend more of our time talking about economic development activities because the media seems to like that a lot, and frankly, we like it because it helps to promote and keep that message out to the public. But from 1993 to 2013, we finished and worked and participated in 474 projects. $4.3 billion of investment came out of those 474 projects, as well as 21,198 new jobs in 20 years. Retention, we retained 28,176 jobs in the market. And if you look at back then, we had no retention plan. If you look at today, we visit over 1,000 companies a year on how they're doing, what they need, is there any way we can assist? And that those projects and those dollars amounted to 21,936,000 square feet of new space. Pretty good job. If we look at some of the significant events, if we look at General Motors, back in 1998, General Motors was on a list, this facility was on the list of the corporation as being one of 113 plants that was to be closed. That was 1998. If you look at the evolution to where we're at today, and the fact that that facility is still there, working 3 shifts, producing the #1 small-size car in the portfolio, and a flagship of that facility. 2 years ago, they stopped tracking or publicly announcing the rankings of facilities, auto facilities. But 2 years ago, this facility was ranked #6 in North America. Mexico, Canada, United States, #6 best producing high quality product in North America. And I should go back just 1 second too. With General Motors, one of the things that we spent time doing is working with management and labor on trying to change a culture in that facility, because the only people that could save that facility were the people within. And we had an opportunity to establish a program called Bring It Home that we worked with both labor and management. Through that process, it also gave us a chance to change a paradigm. What we did back then is we started working with unions and bringing them together with us to talk about common issues. And then we started bringing political officials to the table. That process has been going on for almost 16 years now. Every 6 weeks, we sit down and talk about stuff, so there's no strangers at the table when there's issues. That has added significant opportunities for us because of the partnership. Delphi. In 2005, Delphi filed for bankruptcy. Concern is they're going to belly up, and who knew if they were going to stay in the States or if they were going to go abroad. We focused on trying to educate and inform the public of what's going on in the auto industry, and we turned around and brought in 3 people, thanks to the Cavaro family, who loaned us their plane to get to Detroit to bring 3 specialists in that industry. And we hosted a program at 7 o'clock at night on ABC, CBS, NBC, and Clear Channel Radio simulcast broadcast to talk about the auto industry nationally, nationally, internationally, and locally. At the end of that bankruptcy filing, they closed, Delphi closed all of the operations in Dayton, 5 facilities. They closed the facility in Columbus, they closed the facility in Sandusky, and they closed the facility in Western New York. The only facility was left was this facility. It's because of the people, because of management, because of the labor force working together, understanding the importance of what role they played in that process and the outcome. And then most recent, Velarec, Star, Roger Lindgren, Joel Mastrovich, and Judson Wallace, the 3 presidents at that facility, $1.2 billion. And then most recently, in the last week or so, talking about VAM USA, which is an affiliate of theirs, an $81 million investment and 80-some jobs. Warehouse distribution, everything from Anderson DeBose a few years ago at $30 million, Kaufman's, Things Remembered, the list goes on and on. Toys R Us, we've found a niche. Food processing, Summer Garden, Pure Foods. Entertainment, Penn National, over $200 million investment, counting their licensing and the facility. The gas and oil industry, $5.3 billion in the last 3 years invested here. 1,935 jobs associated just to that business. 1,850 jobs indirect. International, just in the last 4 months, we've been working at International for a little over 3 years, but in the last 4 months, we've had folks from Taiwan, UK, Macedonia, Finland, and 3 companies in from Canada. That's in 3 months. CIC, a program that we at the Chamber have been the management of since 1998. In 1988, Mayor Pat Ungaro acquired 54 buildings in downtown Youngstown, and most of those were the buildings that were boarded up. Those properties sat there and they were deteriorating, and in 1998, the CIC came and we started working together. We as management, they as the board, and we took those 54 buildings, and through the CIC board's guidance, we have turned around and built $32,508,000 of new buildings since 1998. We have built 215,200 square feet of new space. We recovered 66,000 square feet, and we have 7 parking lots with 425 people parking on them every single day. In those, that new space, there are over 700 people now working downtown. Of those 54 buildings, there are 4 of them left to deal with. And all 4 of those are on the charts to be achieved this year and the first part of next year. It's 1 o'clock. I gotta stop. It's really tough. Because I told the staff from now on we've got to meet deadlines because you people all have an important schedule. So I'm going to wrap it up really quick. Government, the relationship we have with the county commissioners, the mayors, the township trustees, the state level, the administration, and our regulators and our state reps and senators. The congressional leadership, either be it Tim Ryan or Bill Johnson. The governor's relationship. We've had a relationship since 1997 with every single governor. And we've had good relationship. For example, Governor Voinovich told us that I don't do chambers. And if you look back in Governor Voinovich's past, you will not find any chamber that he visited except us. If you look at Governor Taft, he was here every 5 weeks in his first 4 years. Governor Strickland, we helped and supported. And Governor Kasich, I got in a little bit of trouble on that one. We support it, and I still support. Now I'm really in trouble. But a good relationship, because you need relationships to get things done. Two of the things that we did, Redesign Ohio, which is at a metro level to help refocus the government, Grow Mahoning Valley to try to get people to focus on priorities in the region and working with Eastgate and unions and business to talk about our priorities. We've literally seen hundreds of millions of dollars spent on our infrastructure in the last 20 years. And truthfully, that group was formed in 1998, I believe. We were getting no dollars in capital. And until we did that, we were getting nothing. And now we're well over $300 million. In education, another program that we started at the Chamber was Steel to Scholars. In 1998, we had one excellent school district, and that was South Range. I just happen to remember that because the gentleman that ran that school district was a very strong leader. We had one excellent school district and 4 effective, for a total of 5 school districts, excellent or effective, which was 11% of all of our school districts. We took on the challenge to try to educate and inform the public the importance of education and to be engaged. And we spent a lot of money and a lot of time on that effort. Through 2012, the last report, it shows we have 31 of the 45 school districts now excellent. We have 11 of that 45 effective, or 93% of our school districts are excellent or effective. That's really a huge accomplishment, to the point that if you look at the state average, we exceed the state average now as far as percent of excellent and effective school districts. We started the P-16 Council with our partners at YSU and the Education Service Centers. If you look at Eastern Gateway Community College, 3,000 students, fastest growing in the state and 16th fastest growing in the country. If you look at our population with degrees, we've gone from 23% of our population having a degree in the Mahoning area to 26% in 2012, in 3 years. 19% in Trumbull County to 21%, and 19% in Columbiana to 22%. We are well on our way to the right direction. I'll leave with this if I could. I was actually told I had till 1:05. It's 1:05. I'd like to leave this with you. Pete said, where are we going the next 20 years? And nobody can predict that. But I will tell you that we're positioned to be successful the next 20 years. When I looked at the opportunities we had in 2000 going into this century, I really looked back to see where we ranked number 1 at. When were we really excellent at the highest level? And the only place I could really find that is in steel production in the 1930s, that we were ranked number 1. And I'm sure I probably didn't look hard enough, and if any of you find areas where I'm in error, please bring it to me. But that's the only place I could find we were ranked number 1. Pete read off a whole list of things that we're now ranked in the number 1 in exporting or in the top 5 in a lot of areas. So we've achieved where we need to be. It proves that we can do it. It proves what Chris talked about. It doesn't matter where you come from, it's what your focus is and what you believe. We have the opportunity, we have a diverse economy now. That's why I try to cover all those different aspects. We have a great economy, great diversity, and it's our job as a community to help them and to keep that growing. So I started off by asking and thanking you for coming today. I want to thank you again for your part, your role, because it's no one person, it's all of us. All boats in harbor rise when everybody works together. Thank you, and I appreciate you listening today.
Tom, again, thank you for your leadership. If you've listened to Tom and some of the points he brought up, you watched the video, all of the people, and I know many of them are in the room, but all of the people that have been involved with this community over the last 20 years, if you don't feel good about what we've done and where we're heading, you should. Be proud of what this community has done so far. I do believe the best is yet to come. I think we give ourselves a round of applause. I really am optimistic about the future. I believe if we continue to work together and put our personal agendas on the sidelines, we'll move this valley forward. I do want to thank our current board and our current staff, and I also, as Tom did, want to thank our past board members and our past chamber staff members, because they helped build the foundation of where we're at today. Congratulations to all the award recipients. Great speeches, well-deserved. Please go out and spread the good news. Talk about the momentum that we're experiencing here. If you've never been a cheerleader, try and do that today. Go out and tell everybody what the future is. We're in the driver's seat, and we have the opportunity to make a difference. And I would challenge all of us to go out and make a difference today and going forward. Thank you all for attending today, and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.